Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Nigerians, and lovers of Nigeria from around the world, you're welcome to yet another edition of our Spaces with the Living Legends. My name is Oraye St Franklyn, your host for today, and joining me on this program to co-host today's edition is Dr. Mo and Kibati. Dr. Mo, are you there?
Absolutely, with too much energy on the space today. So yeah.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow. Our,
Yeah.
our guest today is a very special person, a unique woman, one who has made her mark in politics and leadership in Nigeria, as well as in business and journalism, I would say. Before we bring her on, I would like to, I don't know if today we had the Lagos rally, the mega rally in Lagos, and it was massive. I know, Dr. Mo, can you give us some feedback from that rally?
Oh yeah. Absolutely. We're still reeling from it. Some people are still on the grounds. They haven't trying to make their way out and evacuate equipment and all the setups.
Yeah.
It was yeah. It began from this morning with so much expectation and palpitation, anxiety, so much energy from across the street and all of that. You know, for some of us who went around the TB square, and we had some of us also joined our principal right uh, from the
Allow
from there
the
where they
market.
stayed. Yes, and then we moved through different places. But when we got into passing through Alaba Market, the whole place just shut down. It was like just sea of people. You know, the energy was so palpable. You know, it was electrifying. People were happy. Everybody, you know, from the sellers to the mothers to the fathers to the police people to
Oh,
everybody.
wow.
There is so much excitement and energy like we've never seen and experienced
Oh, wow.
before. It is palpable. It is edible. It is, you know, it's something you could feel. It was really crazy to say the least, you know.
Yeah.
And then we made our way with people, you know, to the TB Square. It was so electrifying, you know. You had Clean the Drums, you had P Square, you had J Martins, you had several artists and people from all walks of life. It was such an awesome moment. Lagos came alive today, you know, and so that's the experience, and we're still reeling from it. The internet was practically shut down with different reports from different places. Of course, we anticipated and expect, you know, a little pushback, of course, which wasn't much because it's expected, you know. But aside from that, it was all high energy and spirit and excitement like never seen before. You know, I know that now the will of the people are always seen in their strength. Their strengths were made visible through their character today as
Oh, wow.
they move around, they share things freely, people gave up, people
And
were
that's the
helping
true
people,
Nigerian
you know.
spirit. That's what we are
That's the true
for.
Nigerian spirit.
Oh, wow. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much. Thank
Helping
you so
people and all of
much.
that. So that was Lagos today. You know, that's the energy
Oh,
today. So yeah.
wow. Oh, wow. Kibati is here. I was afraid that she would not be able to join because she was very active with today's program in Lagos. But I'm so happy she's here. I know she's on the road. So Kibati, can you give us a sense of what the feeling?
Good evening, guys. Oh my god, I think I'm losing my voice. Well, it's awesome, man. Today has been awesome,
Yeah.
man, guys. Today has been amazing. I've literally just entered the house. Afterwards, oh my god, guys. I've been through some really crazy things, right? I organize events for a living, I do shows.
Yeah.
In fact, I had an event at TBS just a few weeks ago in December, right? I had a mega concert that was wild. But guys, my eyes as I've never seen what I saw today.
Wow. Oh,
Today was something else. Today was lit, crazy. I mean, that type of energy, right? That type of energy I have never
it
experienced. I
shows
know,
that our
yes, it was
people are
also
ready, right?
What do
It
you
shows that
say?
our people are ready.
No, no, no. Let me explain something to you. Let me explain something to you. There was something in the air,
Yeah.
right? There was something in the air today. I can't explain it,
Mm,
right? If you can put a fragrance to hope,
yeah.
to belief.
Oh wow.
There was just something in the air. There was this it was palpable. You could smell it, you could feel
Oh
it.
wow.
The look on people's faces, the excitement, the determination. Guys, as I was driving home just now, very close to my bus stop, I saw a guy whose car was smashed. Right? I actually had seen the picture online today. The picture went viral, but the guy drove past me. And this guy was injured, he was stabbed, he was hurt, he was treated at
Yeah.
TBS, but he still came, stayed till the
Oh,
end, and he left the venue same time as
oh wow.
me. He didn't care. The guy was driving, he was cruising on the express. He was cruising on the express, he was happy. His windscreens was shattered, his car was totally destroyed, and he was still
It
driving.
it is
Oh my
good to
guys,
see
like I
that
said,
Nigerians have made up
you
their mind.
cannot describe
Yeah.
the feeling.
Nigerians have
The,
made up.
the, the feeling of, man, today was just listen, guys, I'm still
Thank
recovering, man.
you.
I have no
Thank
words. Anyway, I have
thank
no
you so much.
words.
Thank you so much,
I have no
Beatrice.
words.
Thank you so much. Our guest today is Her Excellency Senator Louisa Kofoworola Bucknor-Akerele, former Deputy Governor of Lagos State. Before we bring her on board, I'd like to bring on board Mr. Valentine Ozigbo, the Special Assistant to Mr. Peter Obi on Strategic Alliances and Technology. He's the brain behind what we are doing today and this series on the living legend. So, Mr. Valentine Ozigbo, please can you give us some opening remarks? You're welcome, sir. Is he held up on the road? Are you? It's, good evening.
Can you confirm, is our special guest here already?
She's seated and waiting.
Oh, thank you, Your Excellency. We are deeply, deeply, deeply grateful for your attention tonight. We also understand how busy this evening is going to be for you, and but we are so eager to share in your wisdom, your experience, your knowledge, and as we go through this very difficult time, but very consequential time. And I'm also glad having experience what happened today in Lagos. I am so proud of the obedience. I'm so proud of the younger generation and even more proud of the older ones. Thank you so much, Ma. And let me seize this opportunity to salute all our hosts, Oraye, Dr. Mo, Kibati, Aziza, and Co, and then all the other guests. Please let's have fun. Let's enjoy this evening. And this is still a part of the series with the legends. Madam, you are a living legend. God bless you and to share your experience. Thank you.
Amen, amen. I have a profile for Her Excellency Senator Louisa Bucknor-Akerele. She's a Nigerian politician, a renowned broadcaster, professional journalist, passionate environmentalist, a businesswoman, and the former deputy governor of Lagos State. She was the deputy governor to Governor Bola Ahmed Tinubu between 1999 and November 2002. She was born on the 30th of April 1939 and went to CMS Girls School, Lagos, before she traveled in 1949 to Surrey, England, for her degree in law. While at the United Kingdom, she attended Kingsley Girls School, England, in 1949, Regent Street Polytechnic, now University of South Bank, London. She was a member of the Honorary Society of, or she is a member of the Honorary Society of Gray's Inn, commonly known as Gray's Inn, into which she was called to the bar to practice as a barrister in England and Wales. She worked with the British Broadcasting Corporation, BBC, between 1962 and 1963. She was the editor of Drum magazine in Switzerland. She advanced her journalism career with Voice of Nigeria between 1964 and 1971, where she rose to be a senior producer. She became a client service manager at Graham and Gillies Advertising West Africa Limited, after which she set up the Akerele Advertising, where she served as the chairman in 1972. She's also the director for Abimbola Properties Limited and the chairman of Al Foods and Louisa K. Associate Limited. Chief Louisa Bucknor-Akerele was elected senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in 1992, where she served as the chairman Senate Committee on Information. In 1999, she was elected deputy governor of Lagos State in a joint ticket with Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. However, she resigned as deputy governor of Lagos State on December 16, 2002. We'll come to the story behind all of that. She was a member of the National Democratic Coalition, NADECO. She was treasurer of the Pan-Yoruba movement, Afenifere, in Lagos State between 1993 and 1998. And she was the governorship aspirant for National Democratic Party in 2003. In 1993, she was honored as the Moroye Lagos by Oba Adeyinka Oyekon and conferred as the Mama Iwe of Lagos by the Students' Union of Yaba College of Technology. Mama loves music. She loves reading, gardening, and aerobics. Her Excellency, Senator Louisa Kofoworola Bucknor-Akerele, is the president of the Federation for Advancement of Nigerian Women. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me to make welcome Her Excellency, Senator Bucknor-Akerele, to Spaces with the Living Legends. Senator Ma, can you hear us? Oh wow, let's try to connect her back. Okay, we have our technical guy who's with her, and I've sent him an invite and we'll bring her up back. So, can you hear us now? I've sent him an invite and we'll bring her up back. So, can you hear us now?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Oh, fantastic. You're welcome. Welcome to Spaces with the Living Legends.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Fantastic. Yes, Ma, you're a strong and inspiring voice for women, not just in Lagos, but across Nigeria. Today, many young women look to you, to your model, as an inspiration. I don't know. Can you please let us have a sense of what growing up in Nigeria was as a young lady, and how you managed to navigate your way up in business and politics as the shining role model that you are today?
Well, I think, first of all, I would say I owe it to the family that I'm from. My grandmother was a very well known businesswoman in Lagos. My father was a doctor and a feminist, though very conservative, but he encouraged women. He liked women's education. And my mother was a nurse. So we would say that I came from a forward looking family who encouraged women to move forward. My father was very particular about the education of his daughters, and he encouraged us to go as far as we wanted as far as education was concerned.
Oh wow! So education played a major role for shaping your worldview.
Oh, definitely, definitely, because you know I came from an educated family. My grandfather, on my mother's side, in fact, was qualified also as a barrister in the UK, I think in 1910.
Oh wow! 1910. Oh wow!
Yes.
Oh, what about politics? How did you navigate?
Well, As far as politics is concerned, I think my father was the one who encouraged me because, in fact, he was the founder of the Egbemo Oduduwa. It was founded in his house in London, and he was the first president. Awolowo was his secretary at that time.
Wow.
So, politics, I come from a political family, so to speak.
Oh,
My father also contested election on the platform of the Action Group because, the Egbeomo Oduduwa later transformed into the Action Group.
okay. Some of us may not know can you give us a sense of that history, because a lot of people listening to you are young people who are eager to learn more. So please take the time to exhaust pour yourself into us today, ma. Please don't be conservative.
Well, I think you've already been given my profile virtually from the day I was born till date. So I don't think you need much more.
Okay. My colleague Kibati would like to engage you on something. So let me bring her up. Kibati, are you there?
Hi, good evening, ma. It's nice to meet you. Good evening, ma.
Good evening to you too.
Good evening, Yoria. Thank you for joining our space. We've had such an enlightening series of spaces. We as young people, many of us were just recently charged, charged up, to become very politically active. Many of us young women, like me in particular, did not in the past. Well, some of us are new to politics. Some of us, did not take politics very seriously until this era. The era of Mr. Peter Obi. Mr. Peter Obi has inspired so many of us to join this train, and we are so happy. We're so excited that someone like you, who we really look up to, who is a role model to so many of us young women like me, has endorsed the man we call our president. So thank you very much, Ma, for that endorsement. And we're so happy to have you on the space with us tonight. Um, we just finished the Lagos rally. I'm sure you saw the activity, saw everything that went down today.
Oh,
Can you give
yes.
us your thoughts before I go to
Oh,
my question?
the rally was fantastic. It was really fantastic. And it made me feel so proud that Peter Obi has now come to pass. He is there. He is going to be our president by the grace of
Amen.
God.
Amen. Obviously, you have a deep history with Lagos State. You were deputy governor to Bola Ahmed Tinubu for about 4 years, and you took a unique decision. You took a unique decision, an interesting decision to resign from that government. A lot of people are curious. We would love to know your experience as the deputy governor to Bola Ahmed Tinubu, considering that he's running against our president. We would like us to, I don't know how much you can tell us about your time as deputy governor. We'd love for you to tell us as much as you can, and just give us, if you can just walk us through the series of events that happened that led up to your decision to resign, as deputy governor of Lagos State.
Well, first of all, I'd like you to know that I was not very keen on becoming deputy governor of Lagos State. I belong to Afenifere, and Afenifere was the founder of the party AD, on which Bola Tinubu decided to actually um, contest as governor. And it was the elders of Afenifere that appealed to me because it was obvious that if Afenifere, who founded the party, did not have anyone who belonged to them in the government, then they would have completely lost out. So I was appealed to become Bola Tinubu's deputy. Bola Tinubu himself, I think, certainly did not want me because he wanted to take over the party. And he, obviously, because I was Afenifere, it became a thorn in his flesh, so to speak. And therefore, there were all sorts of things which I don't want to go into here, but there were all sorts of things, of course, which led to our disagreeing because, for instance, he wanted me to join him to take over the party from the elders who were the foundation of the party. And of course, I couldn't join him in that venture at all because I felt it was wrong. These were people who had worked hard through NADECO, from NADECO to AD, and then for us to scheme to take over the party for them, I thought it was wrong. And I think it was because of this that we had a disagreement. Because Tinubu is somebody who, when he wants something, he expects everybody to fall into line. And I was not ready to fall into line on that score with him. And this is really, in the end, he made my life very uncomfortable as deputy governor. And therefore, and not only that, all sorts of other things took place. And my family pressured me that I should resign, and I did.
I would like to jump in at this moment because this is Dr. Mo talking to you. I, I, Ma'am, resigning, receding, um, falling into that pressure. I mean, looking back today, is that not chickening out? Because wouldn't it be better for you to have been in the system to fight through?
Well, fighting how? I was not
Because
given a portfolio. All portfolios were taken away from me, and it would have just been that I would have been deputy governor in name only. So, what would I be fighting through on? It was better for me to get out and, you know, find another way for myself.
no, I'm saying that looking back today and looking at what the younger people are doing from the vantage point that and the opportunities that you have, if you were to replay history, would you take the same decision?
Definitely, yes.
Fantastic. Fantastic. I mean, from what I get from this is the character of the human being is well known. Um, if you play it over and over again, except the character changes, the result will still be the same. Like they say, garbage in, garbage out. So I kind of get a sense of what it was like, and it's good to really hear this from you directly.
Yeah, but I hear, Mama.
Mm.
Maybe more than any other living human being on the face of this earth, you are one person. Considering the fact that we are at a very critical juncture at our nation's history, and looking at the front runners for those who are asking to become uh, presidents of Nigeria, and particularly because Emilio Khan has come out to say that this is his turn. You are one person that we really want to. I know you said you didn't want to dig into things, but you're one person we want to listen to. I am itchy, I am.
And that's
I
that's
mean,
why
it's
we have her
almost,
here. That's why we have her here. That's why we have
yeah.
her
So I'm asking Mama because if you give us a little background, maybe it will help people who are still sitting on the fence, those who haven't fully made up their mind to see why some of us maybe to help people be able to see your endorsement and all of that. It's what I'm asking is a bit deeper because look at what we're doing as obedience and people who are clamoring for Peter Obi. We are saying that we're not going to leave politics. We're not going to um, leave the space for other people to assume or do whatever they want to do. And that's why your position and whatever you say today is very critical to the discourse and where we are in our nation's history.
Well, I think where we are in our nation's history is, in fact, what I would say we are at a crossroads. And we either have to do what we think is right and fair, or if we get it wrong, I have great foreboding for the future of Nigeria. You see, we've got to look at it from the point of view that this country has a balance of north south. The north has just finished 8 years. And although I am a member of the PDP, I believe that Atiku, who I have great respect for, should never have come out. Obi was his vice president last time around. And I would have thought that the ideal thing would have been for him to put his support behind Obi, because let us look at it. It is only the eastern part of the country that has never had a taste of the presidency. And I think it's only fair that they should be given a chance to actually taste the presidency. We have been ruled in this country by the North for practically all our years of independence. And I think the few times where a Southerner has had the opportunity, we have seen the difference. I am not saying that the North is not competent, but I'm saying that we should try and be fair and equitable in everything we do in Nigeria. And it is not a question of Emilio Con. I think we should say that Southeast Locon.
Okay, ma. All right. This is Kibati again. Still on this. Now that you brought up this question, I'm sorry, this conversation about north-south rotation. I want to dig into this question of rotation because we touched on it a bit yesterday, when we had Pa Edwin Clark. So I wanted to get your own perspective on it, particularly about the consequence, right? Edwin Clark talked about he talked a bit about the dangers, of not rotating power, in a country as diverse as Nigeria. But now I want to talk about the consequence. Now we have a ticket. We have a ticket that seeks to continue northern rule in Nigeria for potentially another 8 years. Then we have another ticket that has presented two candidates. Both the president and vice presidential candidates are Muslim in a country with I don't know what the percentage, Christian Muslim percent. I think it's almost the same, right, in Nigeria. you know, I want you to help us touch on how dangerous either of those tickets winning will be. Like what's the consequence of what could be the consequence if any of those two tickets win? And what would be their impact on national unity? What are your? I'm sure you've given this a lot of thought. What are your thoughts on that? The consequence of, God forbid, either of those tickets winning this election.
Well, first of all, I think a Muslim ticket is, in fact, a very insensitive ticket. It is not sensitive to the feelings of the people of this country. We have largely, mainly Christian and Muslim people. My husband was a Muslim. One of my children is a Muslim, the other one is a Christian. So we have to learn to live with each other. And I believe that a Muslim ticket does not actually would encourage that fairness and that balance between the two main religions. We have had a Muslim for 8 years. And therefore, to have a Muslim ticket, it connotes something to people who are not Muslims, that they are being marginalized and they are being looked down upon as if they don't matter. And really and truly, I think it was very thoughtless of the APC to have decided on a Muslim ticket. They have not taken into consideration the feelings of about 50% of Nigerians.
Wow. I mean, for me, this is also my position. I'm a member of the PDP as well, but I'm a steadfast supporter of Mr. Peter Obi, because as today it's not about political parties. The emergence of Mr. Peter Obi has brought about what is called hybrid politics, where people have a choice to vote as they choose. For me, for the presidency, it is sacrosanct. Mr. Peter Obi is the only thing that makes sense. And like you said, it was thoughtless, insensitive, for the PDP to at this point bring again another northerner, as well as the APC. So there are two faults, between the APC. They call it PD APC or APD.
I agree with you there. And, and I think this is one of the reasons why so many people are going for Peter Obi, because they feel that, they are not being regarded.
Precisely. Emma, you have endorsed Mr. Peter Obi as the best presidential candidate for Nigeria and the most suitable to lead our country going forward. Can you give us your reasons?
Well, first of all, it's his age.
Okay.
I think it is time, I don't want us to have a system where all our presidents are, well, geriatrics, so to speak, And then if we look at I don't know the condition of Atiku's health, but here's a man who's over 70. And I think once you're over 70, you're on your way out. My father used to say, and he was a doctor, that once you're over 70 and you're still alive, then you're doing overtime. You see, then there's the health condition of Bola Tinubu. We all know that it's obvious that he's suffering from Parkinson's disease because, his hands are shaking. And also, I would say that maybe senility is also coming in because some of the goofs that he has made, it's obvious that things are not quite all right with him health wise.
Yeah.
And therefore, I don't think that he should have come out. He should have looked for somebody in his party who was younger that he could mentor. That is my personal opinion. And as I said earlier, I believe that Atiku should have, in fact, mentored Peter Obi, who was his vice president last time he stood for election.
Mm.
Please, ma, I want to press on this Muslim ticket a bit further. You worked with Bola Ahmed Tinubu as governor when he was governor of Lagos State. Can you just, because this is one decision that baffled a lot of Nigerians. I remember I personally thought it was sinister. I was baffled. I mean, a lot of people were in shock. We thought, no, he can't possibly, and he did it. Why do you think he took that decision to pick a Muslim running mate? Take us into his mind. What do you think
Well,
his reasoning was?
I can't take you to his mind because that would be um, making me some kind of a wizard or something. I cannot take you into his mind at all. But I would suspect that maybe he was pressurized into it by certain elements in his party.
Mm. Okay. Kibati, Mama is ready. The people are ready. They've been eager to ask her directly questions. So I don't know. Right now, you and Dr. Mo can please guide that process and bring people up to the mic.
Okay, all right. Please, for everyone in the space, first of all, please kindly share the space. Let's have some more people come into the space. Please share on your timelines. Let's invite your followers to join the space. And if you would like to ask Her Excellency questions, please request for the microphone and we'll bring you on as a speaker. All right. Please request for the microphone if you would like to speak. If you have any questions for Her Excellency, and we'll bring you up as a speaker. While we wait for the speakers, Oraye, do you mind? Can we ask her a few more questions? I have some specific questions about today's rally, about the events that happened today.
Please
Um,
just flow. Go ahead. She's here.
Okay, okay. I mean, we're in Lagos, right?
Yeah.
This is Lagos, and I'm happy. In fact, I am happy she joined this space today in particular.
Yeah.
Now, there's a lot of concern. I mean, a lot of obedience groups, right? And the conversation tonight is this: considering what happened this morning, we had at least 4 obedience stabbed. In fact, one of them was almost shot. If not that, some private security team intervened. Someone almost lost his life today. One of them was almost beaten to death. So many things happened. Like I said, as I was driving home, I saw cars, that had been destroyed, totally destroyed. Now, with what happened today, the conversation now is should obedience do on election day? Now we're worried. Like, yes, in as much as it was a very successful rally, there's a bit of fear also. The fear is palpable. Like, okay, it looks like we need to act, because this felt like a preview of what the bat camp, the corn eaters, would unleash on us on election day. I mean, these guys were so insecure today. It was just a rally. They did not want us to have a smooth rally. So can you just imagine what their plots are? What would you advise us to do, particularly in Lagos State? Because we do not want this to be disenfranchised. We need obedience to come out en masse. So please, ma, what would you advise us to do? How do we counter the threats of election day violence in Lagos?
Well, I think it's up to the security. The police should, in fact, start planning how they're going to stop this violence, because it was not only for the rally. There's violence in being perpetrated by the APC in Lagos State. You see people walking around with cudgels, beating transporters who don't pay them. And we are in a situation where we are APC is in fact a party that is encouraging the rule of thugs. And I believe that the security agencies must rise up to the occasion and protect the lives of people in this state. I think it is a disgrace that, even as I'm saying, I mean, it was at a rally that somebody was stabbed. Not only one person, I understand 2 people were stabbed, because my people were at that rally. And if you see what goes on a daily basis at the various bus stops, people being chased and beaten because they don't give money to somebody who is a member of some union or whatever, it's a disgrace and it should stop. And I think it is time that the police rise up to the occasion and stop all this thuggery and extortion that's going on. I am going to come out to vote. And I know that the whole idea is to, in fact, terrorize us all into submission so that we're afraid to go out to vote. But I am appealing to everybody. Please take up your PVC and go and vote, because it is the only way you can free yourself from these people. If you don't vote, they will continue to terrorize us. And we should not allow it to happen.
Thank you very much, Ma. Just to add to what Mama has said, a lot of you know the case with River State and elections. It's always combative. It's always violent, because the issues between the APC and the ruling party in River State are quite bitter. So what we did in Rivers State was to defy the assault by the state actors. Because in all of this, you can't rule out the active roles of state actors, the police, the military, civil defense, and all of that. So what we did was, in spite of all that they did, we ensured that our people went out to vote. In a place like Okrika, which is my community, there were videos that trended around that period where women went almost nude, circling soldiers and stopping them from trying to alter the results at a collation center. Those are citizens' actions that are very well result oriented. It's not about taking up arms, but there are very unique ways. Most importantly, I think an effective strategy is to ensure that as these things are happening, they are being recorded and released to the public in real time. Because one of the strategies we used in Rivers State to expose the active roles of the Nigerian military, in our elections. So I just thought I should add this. While we expect the best from them, we can also do our parts, by taking advantage of technology and standing our feet on the ground to say we will resist their efforts and ensure that our votes are counted, on election day. Kibati,
Well,
sorry, ma.
I want to say that with the electronic voting, in any case,
Yeah.
you know, our votes should count. But the main thing is not to be intimidated.
Yes.
And I think it starts now to get rid of all those touts and thugs that are roaming the streets right now before election.
True.
We should get them off the streets.
True.
So my question was more in the line of what should obedience do when the security agencies fail us? Now, one of the guys that was attacked this morning reported that there were some police and LASMA people not far from where he was when the thugs attacked his boss, the boss that he and some other obedience were, and they did absolutely nothing. And we've had this happen so many times in the past, where particularly in Lagos, areas dominated by Igbos, the Igbos, people from the not just Igbos, people from the south generally, who the APC feel probably will not vote for them. You just find you will hear so many stories of violence, of disenfranchisement on election day, and the police will do absolutely nothing. So what do we do as obedience when it feels as if even the police that we look up to are in bed with our oppressors? That's why I asked this question. What advice do you do? I mean, apart from pleading with the authorities to be fair, to provide security. Let me not lie to you, man. I do not expect to be protected by a policeman on election day. Right now, the conversation within myself and other support groups is, what do we do? Do we need to raise billions? Do we need to look for private security? What do we need to do? You understand? So I don't think a lot of Lagosians feel, particularly with what happened today. It was just a rally. We were all happy. We were dancing. We had DJs. We had hype men. We formed caravans, processions. It was joyful, and they were attacking us, and the police did nothing. We actually requested for police assistance, and they pulled out this morning. They refused to provide us with cover. So what do we do when it's so obvious that these guys are in bed with the authorities, ma? Do you have any tricks? I mean, because we need to, like, you're right, we want more than ever before. We want to come out and vote. Obedience are, particularly in Lagos. I mean, we expect to have the largest turnout in the history of Lagos on election day. But what do we do to secure lives when the authorities themselves will not come to our rescue?
Well, I think we have to force the authorities to do their job. They're there to protect every citizen, not only those who are in government. And therefore, we have to expose them and let the people know that these people are not doing their job. We have to let the people know. And we should publicize it. We should publicize every incident where the police are not up to the task. That is the only way we can put pressure on the police. Because the police are not there to take orders from any political party. They're there to protect all members of the public, no matter who they are or where they come from or what political affiliation they have.
Sorry, Mr. Wright, do you want
We,
to go?
No, go ahead.
we have to force them to do their job, and the only way to force them to do their job is to expose them.
Yeah.
But Ma, how do we put pressure on them? Because
I've
I'm
said
sure
it. Expose them. Expose every incident that happens.
Okay, you know what? Let's go to our speakers now. We've got some speakers on stage. If you would like to ask a question, please raise up your hand. And if you would like to join as a speaker, like I said, please request for the microphone. All right. I've got someone, Obedient Gadgets. Good evening. Good evening, sir. Or
Hi,
madam.
good
Good
evening.
evening. How are you tonight? All right. Please
Very
pose
well.
your question. You have the floor.
Yeah, I'm Wusa by name. Thank you very much, ma'am, for your presence here this evening. I will ask my question, but I just want to chip in one or two things to some of what happened today. I am a Lagosian by origin, and I want to give us a little idea of some of the things that they do. For instance, around my family house in Alagomeji, some of the trick they do is, in most cases, one thing that gives them the power to go ahead is because of one, low turnout. Once there's low turnout, it gives them the morale to go about and perpetrate all sorts of things. For instance, in 2019, near my family house, the polling unit close to and that we used there, my dad and they used to use to vote. What they did to some people there was that they sent thugs to flog people that are not willing to vote for APC. And from all the feel I'm getting, that is also what they have in plan now. Now, beyond what mommy has actually said that we can do, I think the other alternative that needs to be done is also to organize a private security as well. For instance, I chatted with my cousin Benjamin this afternoon and asked him, I said, Egbon, what is going on? What is happening in Lagos State? You are showing us force, or what do you call it, the other day, releasing video that anybody that tries anything. I said, today now, those that are in Aja, in many places were attacked, but no police was found on site, or you didn't do anything about what is going on. And I can tell you till now, he's yet to respond to me. And I'm sure if I call him later on in the evening, he'll give me some excuses. So the fact is that if you expect the compromise and the security force that we have now to give us security and ensure fairness, we are in, for a surprise. The only thing I would advise is that an alternative private security will go a long way, and also encouraging people to come out en masse. For instance, a polling unit of 500 people, you have 100 people are coming out, or maximum 120. Before you know it, it creates for them to do whatever they want to do. So that's just my little, addition comments
Okay.
as regards.
Okay.
Obedient Gadgets, do you have
Thank
a
you.
question for Her Excellency?
I
Any
actually wanted
question?
to ask. I want to ask her my own
Okay,
questions.
quickly. Please go straight to the question. Thanks.
I actually want to ask, a question in relation to. I remember, and then during your this thing with your principal, after a while, eventually the government. I remember that between you and the principal, then a lot of things happened in Lagos, and eventually he had to switch to another deputy and the likes and the rest. So I want to ask you, Ma, beyond what we know in the public, can you also tell us more about the kind of person he is, so as to also sensitize some people that are ill-informed about the kind of person your former boss is, just to, make people know the reason between the lights and the darkness. Thank you, ma.
Well, I think I've already told you that the sort of person he is somebody who is an autocrat. He wants people who will agree with him absolutely. And if you do not agree with him, then you become his enemy. It's as simple as that.
Thank you, ma. Next question.
Okay, let's take Stanley.
Stanley.
Stanley Ebosi, good evening. Please,
Yeah.
please, we don't have much time left, so please, I want your question in less than a minute. Please go straight to your question. You have the floor.
Hello,
Go ahead,
Kibati.
please.
Yeah,
Good
Kibati,
evening,
thank you
Stan.
so
Did
much
you
for
hear what I
having
said?
me.
Please keep your question
Yes,
short.
I did.
Thank
I
you.
heard you. Good
Good
good evening,
evening.
Kibati. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. Good evening, man. It's such an honor to speak today and to get this opportunity to ask you this question. I'm a Lagosian by localization. I was born in Lagos. And I remember in 99 when you became deputy governor, I was very excited. We have this civilian administration in Lagos. And I was very excited. And following the news, I really liked you. I really like to. Now, just to my question, I have some experience in politics. I was the spokesperson for Articulated Youth Force 4 years ago. Just a background. And we did some communication things. It was nice working then. But what I have to say, Matt, and my question is, um, we are, yes, the obedient movement, everybody that has worked so far as trying to win this election is concerned, has done a splendid job. But I'm not thinking 2 weeks away or over 2 weeks from now. If by the special grace of God we do win, what sort of advice do you have for us, Ma, in terms of how a government is constituted? I know that with the way we have a good number of youth supporting Mr. Peter Obi now, I do understand that considering the peculiarities of the issues we have in Nigeria, issues in quotes, if results don't start coming in very soon, it's very easy for people to go against him. Ma, with your wisdom, what sort of, and with your wisdom and as an administrator, what sort of advice do you have? What sort of counsel do you have for us? How do we carry ourselves after the first? If we win by the grace of God, how do you counsel that we young people carry ourselves as far as doing this work of fixing Nigeria that has been destroyed this last couple of years? Thank you so much, man. That's my question.
Well, first of all, how do you fix Nigeria? I think, first of all, you have to be honest. You have to, whatever work you're doing, remember, you do it to the best of your ability. Because a lot of the problem we have right now is that our society has become monetarized. We only think about making money and we don't think about how we make that money. Youth, I think most of you come from homes where your parents have been guiding you as to what is right and what is wrong. Listen to your parents. Listen to your parents. Because it's in the Bible. Honor your father and your mother. A lot of us do not listen to our parents. When I talk about us, I mean you young people. Work hard. Support people who are less able than you. Support the weak. And also, please have the fear of God, no matter whether you're Muslim or Christian. You're worshiping God. Therefore, please, in whatever you do, have the fear of God in you, that one day you will be called upon to account for whatever you do or whatever you do not do. That is what my advice to you young people are. Stop thinking that you want this position, that position. If it is written for you, you will get whatever position that you're aspiring to. But as I said, have the fear of God in you, because I think what has happened is that our rulers now do not fear God.
Wow.
Oh, thank you so much, Ma. Okay, we know we have about 5 minutes left, so we're gonna make this very brisk. Please, guys, I'm not even sure we can take. We've got two more speakers on stage. Let's see if we can just rush through get them. Please limit your question to about 45 seconds, please. I'm going to quickly go to Oracle on this KVN. You have the floor. Please make your question as brief as possible. Are you there, Oracle? Okay, seems he's not ready. Let's go to Daniel Joshua. Good evening, Daniel.
Hello, Daniel.
Daniel, are you there? Okay. Daniel, Oracle, are you guys there? Is any of you there? Seems our speakers are not ready. Okay, Oraye, over to you.
Oh well, I think Her Excellency has given her closing remarks actually, with a call on the youth to adopt better values. It's unfortunate, as she said, the leaders we currently have, who rather than inspiring us with good values, leading with very bad examples. I think on that note, we can close today's edition. It's a very solemn but important point. That we are truly determined to change Nigeria. It's something that can only happen when we are resolute, right? And when we know that we'll be making a difference by adopting better values. I don't know if I should give her 1 minute to wrap it up, and then we can say goodbyes.
Well, first of all, I'd say thank you very much for having me on.
You're welcome, ma'am.
I will also like to urge that please don't be intimidated.
Yes, ma'am.
I have been on campaign where a gun has been pointed at me.
Oh, wow.
Yes. But I pushed the gun away with my own hand.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I didn't steal. So why are you pointing this gun at me? Go away. And in the end, the chap said, Mama, please, whatever you can give me, give me. And give him something. So please, I'm not asking people to go and face the gun or the knife or the axe or whatever these people have. But don't allow yourself to be intimidated. And all I can say is God will be with us all on election day to protect all of us. That is my prayer for everybody. That we are fighting for our rights. And God knows we're all fighting for what is right for ourselves and for our country. And therefore, I know God will protect us all.
Amen.
Don't be intimidated.
Amen.
Go out and vote.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you so much. We're deeply inspired. I'm sure Kibati, you were not disappointed.
No, at all. Thank you so much, Ma, for giving us this time. I know it's a pretty busy day for you, but we're so grateful. I learned a lot. Thanks for your inspiring words. Thank you for your message to young people, and we will make you proud.
Amen.
This election day, young people are going to fight harder than we've ever fought to take back our country. We desperately want to take back our country, and we will definitely heed your words, Ma. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. So
It's a pleasure.
everyone who has tuned in, we're very grateful to have you be a part of Spaces with the Living Legends. Tomorrow we'll be having Nnai Nwodo, a living legend, on this program, and the time is 6 p.m. Please come early, reserve your seat at the space, and also invite your friends, right? I want to thank my co-host Kibati and Dr. Mo, who, together with whom we have had an exciting time on the show today. Tomorrow, I'm sure, will be more interesting because we'll have perspectives from a different region of Nigeria. I anticipate something very nice for tomorrow's show. So please come in early, share the space, and be part of it. Until tomorrow, this is me, your host, Oraye St Franklyn, signing.